AIG. If you recall, can you Google Obama misidentifies AIG? He didn't know what AIG stood for. I seem to remember a soundbite, or at least a quote, where during the campaign I reminded you, I informed you, or maybe played it for you. I think I played it for you. Obama got it wrong. He didn't know what AIG stood for. And it's okay. By the way, it's American International Group. He said it was American Insurance Group. Yeah, maybe Obama calls AIG American Insurance Group. See if we could find that, because I think that's very apropos. Because these people are playing a game with you folks out there. I'm probably the only one in the... Yeah, do we have an audio on that anywhere? No? No audio? All right, if you find any audio on that, YouTube or something, let me know. Yeah, he called it the American Insurance Group. When was that? We have a date? See if we get a date or something like that. I mean, it's hard for Vince to get a date. Apparently. But maybe he could get a date for this. So now he's not doing it. September 17th. Let me write this down here. 9/17. He didn't even know what AIG was. But now he's sure as hell that those executives are evil, and they'll give that money back. So what if they got a contract saying they get the money? So what? Obama wants them to give it back. And he's playing games. Special laws for these guys at AIG who a year ago, now mind you what I'm saying, a year ago entered into this agreement. A year ago. Everybody knew that this was going to be the case. The Obama administration has known about this for some time. Let me read to you, because this is so indicting. This is so indicting. First of all, you can't make this stuff up. You've got Christopher Dodd, who's beside himself. Christopher Dodd, believe it or not, well, it's really easy to believe, but you cannot make this stuff up. Dodd, during the $787 billion stimulus bill, he unexpectedly added an executive compensation restriction bill. So this is the law because it was signed. You know what that bill did? It provided, quote, an exception for contractually obligated bonuses agreed on before February 11th, 2009, end quote, which exempts the very AIG bonuses that Dodd now is seeking to tax. He put into the stimulus bill a law restricting bonuses and everything else, but made a specific exemption for any contractually obligated bonuses agreed on before February 11th, 2009. So Dodd put this law in, protecting AIG. And now, we got to tax them. You can't, because you put the law in saying that they're exempt. You can't make this up. And, of course, the media goes along with this. They'll never tell you this. But hats off to Politico's Jim Vandehei. I got to tell you what he wrote. Listen to what he wrote. President Barack Obama and everyone else in Washington is in a sprint for the microphones to express outrage at the big bonuses for the knuckleheads who screwed up the American International Group and threatened to do the same to the rest of the economy. We heard Obama yesterday, right? We played you the bite. Every legal step. We're going to take every legal step. These two-bit phonies. Why did it take so long for the president and senior lawmakers to get so worked up? More troubling, why did it take so long for them to discover AIG planned to give huge bonuses in the first place? Watching the coverage the past 24 hours, it would seem AIG just made public its plans to give top employees big bonuses. Wrong. AIG disclosed its retention bonus program more than a year ago, including bonuses directed to those handling the exotic derivatives that got the company into this mess. The bonuses were essentially a non-issue when AIG got its initial bailout money, almost $150 billion in the 2 months surrounding the presidential election. Joe Biden came out strongly against the bailout. Barack Hussein Obama did not. Timothy Geithner, tax cheat. Then at the New York branch of the Fed was a huge proponent and architect of the AIG bailout. So if Obama had strong private opposition to the idea of these bonuses, it did not affect his pick for the person who would oversee all bailouts. In other words, Barack Obama is as full of it as one could become full of it and still have those great-looking abs. The bonuses were again a non-issue when Obama himself increased the bailout to $173 billion last month. Last month, Obama increased AIG's bailout, knowing full well about these bonuses, and didn't say boo. The Obama administration and most leading Republicans seem in agreement that AIG's collapse would be potentially devastating to the overall economy and specifically to certain states and insurance companies intertwined with the company's operations. AIG's officials are circulating a doomsday report on what would happen to the nation if it fails. Lawrence Summers and others have reportedly read it, according to this New York Times piece, which was well worth a read. Obviously, AIG has a huge self-interest in putting the fear of God into the people they're asking for billions. Who knows if their 21-page doomsday report is accurate, but the case AIG makes sounds very familiar to the one that Geithner and others make when contending the company is too big to let fail. This puts Washington in a danger zone. You have a woefully understaffed Treasury Department, headed by one of the architects of the original AIG bailout, deciding the company's fate. You have a company that needs government backing to survive, privately and publicly arguing that if the company's allowed to collapse, the entire economy will follow. And you have reporters who at best have a surface understanding of the complexity of the AIG debacle trying to explain it all. This much is clear. This much is clear, writes Jim Vandehee. Washington could face two very difficult decisions in the months ahead if, as expected, AIG pleads for even more money. It could say hell no and risk the doomsday scenario coming true, or it could be forced to risk the wrath of an angry public and pump even more money into an uncertain bet to save AIG. Obama prides himself on being Washington's grown-up, who does not let political rear covering get in the way of telling Americans hard truths. But he proved today that he knows something about rear covering as well. The hard truths part is harder. Folks, these people are all full of baloney. Geithner wrote the bailout. The bailout allowed the bonuses. The bonuses have been known for weeks and months. And yesterday, Obama oh, did you hear about these evil people? As I said before, Obama is as full of it as one could get and still maintain those great-looking abs. Unbelievable. He has turned into some kind of disappointment to anybody who ever. This guy knows nothing. He thinks the public is as dumb could be. He's going to get away with all this, and he will to an extent because the media will allow him. But thank God for people like Jim Vandehee at Politico. He's not a conservative. He's fed up. He sees this nonsense taking place, and he says, I'm not going to let this go. They knew about these bonuses. Obama knew about these bonuses. If Obama's so angry, then let him fire Tim Geithner, who wrote the bailout. This is all a bunch of nonsense. Do you want to know who the top recipient in the U.S. Senate, or the top recipient, period, of AIG's political contributions is? Christopher Dodd. Christopher Dodd, who put into the stimulus bill the exemption protecting AIG, who now is going after AIG. He put in that exemption, folks, most probably, in my opinion, because he got $103,100 from AIG in campaign contributions, money to Congress, the 2008 cycle. Barack Obama, $101,000. He was number 2. Democrats got $442,000 from AIG. Republicans, $142,000 from AIG. It is unbelievable. It is a sick, sick joke. Oh, by the way, remember when Barack Obama told us that if you pass my stimulus bill, the CEO of Caterpillar told me that he's going to hire back all those people he laid off? Do you remember that? Do you remember when Obama made those remarks? Well, Barack Obama was lying. And bingo, Caterpillar today announced plans to lay off more than 2,400 employees at 5 plants in Illinois, Indiana, and Georgia. The world's largest maker of mining and construction equipment has seen its sales wither as the sluggish world economy and credit crisis weaken demand for its products. So Barack Obama, first of all, we found out the skinny on this just about a week or so ago. Congressman from Illinois told us how he sat next to the CEO of Caterpillar on a plane and said, what was that deal where Obama said that you called him and said if you passed the stimulus bill, I could hire back the workers? He said, no. What I told him was, he called me, first of all. Obama called him, and he said, could you hire back the workers if I passed the stimulus bill? And he said, I told him, Mr. President, doubtful. You have to pass a effective stimulus bill, and it has to work. And he then went out there and lied about what he told him. And again, it proves that it was a lie because rather than hire anybody back, the CEO of Caterpillar has now laid more people off, as he said he would, the day after Obama lied about him saying he would hire people back. That's Obama. Liar in chief, ladies and gentlemen. Liar and chief.